I'm going to try and play to you some sleigh bells. Does that sound sleigh-like to you? These are the kind of sounds that open Rachmaninoff's choral symphony, The Bells. And they were inspired by an Edgar Allan Poe poem. And what's happening here, rather joyfully, is a man is courting a woman on a sleigh ride. But this is Edgar Allan Poe, so things are going to turn grim quite quickly. Now, before I tell you the story of the poem and what's been described by the music, I ought to just make a point on what Russian Orthodox bells sound like. I don't know if you've ever been to Russia, but you know, we in England at least are used to bells that sound like this. Whereas in Russia, they're just a disco of sound sometimes, you know, just a clattering, a utter chaos of joyful noise. And also, and this particularly excited Rachmaninoff and other Russian composers, they can sound terrifying. Huge bells, these tolling of terrifying sounds can ring out. And he was very much drawn to those darker qualities as well in his music. And that suits this grim poem by Edgar Allan Poe, because what happens already from the second movement on is that tragedy strikes. So we have this love story, but as the second movement opens, we know, just from the tolling of the bell, that all is not well. Listen to that chord. The chord pregnant with tragedy, isn't it? It's a tolling of the bell. And by the time we get to the third movement, we've got alarm bells as the man witnesses his wife die most horrendously in flames. You've got to imagine a huge choir singing out, screaming with horror above those alarm bells. So by the time we get to the finale, we've still got tolling bells, but here there is a sense of grief, as if the man is haunted. And in Poe's poem, he's actually going mad. Over the top of that, you'll have a snaking, mad-sounding cor anglais solo. In the poem, we very much end up in this kind of key, a tragic key. But for Rachmaninoff, the tolling of a bell always had a second meaning. It wasn't just about tragedy, it carried a spiritual hope. And so unlike the poem, Rachmaninoff's music manages to transport us to a far more hopeful place right at the end.